We're True Will. This is Billy.
Chris.
Mike.
And we want to thank everyone for pre-ordering the late final today with House of Robot. The song we're recording today is called Feelings. We wrote it, I guess, about a year and a half ago. From me just talking about some of the dark times in my life and when I find myself like in a rut and just trying to get myself out of it. I think it might have been like early on in the pandemic. Some of the music we might have had together for a little while, but it was really when the lyrics came out around that time.
All right, so you keep repeating, but I wonder, did I fuck this up? What were you going through at that time? What were you worried about fucking up?
I guess just with all of the changes that were going on in the world, like the changes that we had to deal with at work. I guess to some degree I usually talk about like relationships, whether with friends or just people in my life, and just being worried if I'm doing everything that I can on my end. I guess I just have a lot of anxiety about that in general.
Mm-hmm. Now at work you're currently the managing director of the Princeton School of Rock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess we had just switched to online remote lessons, which was definitely a big change just for everyone involved, just making sure that everyone knows what we're doing and like people getting to their lessons on time, know what to do. It's just a very hectic time, and definitely took a lot of learning on everyone's part to get on the same page.
Now Chris, you were at the School of Rock also. What was that time like for you?
It was very weird because I was mainly just teaching at that time, so completely changing my entire approach.
So we're starting for 2019. I was actually deployed. I was even in the States at that time. I got back December, right before Christmas, and then we played a show and the pandemic hit. So, but around that same time, I actually started filling in as a substitute drum instructor at the school, and so getting used to that as well as like trying to like teach students now, and also do it remotely at the same time. Right around the same time as Billy was saying, that's when like they start going remote with everything. So that was a little bit of transition. We all go through, after everybody goes through a lot of different changes, and sometimes they happen all at once. And there's definitely a lot going on in 2020, obviously for everybody with the pandemic, but like me and my wife, it was the first year after being married that we were actually together, because I got married and left. So, and then we moved, started going through like that. I guess you say the adulthood like steps where like you got the house and all that. So it was like a lot of things happening at once, and I feel like we've been like, at least in our personal life, just been like running full speed since. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of ironic because there's a pandemic going. You think like the world may have slowed down, but like personally, it didn't. Like things sped up.
Where were you deployed?
I was in Jordan.
How long between your return and the pandemic lockdown happening?
I got back December 12th, 2019. Never forget days like that. And then I believe the lockdown took place end of March.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, because I actually went to Nashville. So. Yeah, I went to Nashville in February. And that's when COVID was just like really rampant.
I was in Nashville at the end of February.
I probably passed you somewhere. Yeah, you never know.
Fly out of Philly? You think American?
Wait, I think we did actually. Small world. Yeah, so it was only like, 2-3 months? Mm-hmm. Like, I'd say about 3 months from the time I came home to when like things like went into lockdown.
How did that make you feel?
It was weird, because like, I basically lost 2 years. In a way, I feel like I lost 2 years of my life. Because it's like, one, you're off not doing anything related to your personal life, and then you're limited for a whole year to what you can do because of the world being shut down.
All right, so now you wrote this song then. When you sing the lyrics now, how do you feel?
Well, I guess I don't feel exactly the same way as then. Definitely my life has moved into another phase that I think is better. I feel it's better. So I think that's the most important thing. But I still have a lot of anxiety that I deal with, so I can definitely apply the similar sentiments to those situations, so that it doesn't really feel like anything's lost quite yet.
Now I know you didn't write this song, but let's start with Chris. What does this song say to you? What do you to you? What is it about?
The lyrics like really kind of just spoke to me just because like I was going through like a pretty shitty relationship, so it was just like it captured exactly the way that I felt at the same moment. Just wondering, like, did I fuck this up?
Hmm.
You know.
Mike, what about you?
Because we've known each other for so long now, that a lot of times when Chris or Bill write something, it's almost like, it's kind of weird. I don't think I ever said this to you, either of you, but it's almost like they know that something's wrong with, something's bothering me or something's wrong with me. So like somehow they're kind of writing about that too. It's not in every song. Like obviously some songs, some stuff is more personal to either them individually or both of them. We all have like a lot of like anxiety and stuff going on, different things, and like you're always unsure. You never know what's gonna happen tomorrow. We don't know what's gonna happen in the next 5 minutes, so it's that uncertainty with things and like that anxiety, back to the lyrics, like you do wonder, like, are you gonna fuck this all up, like somehow, some way, like something you do or say, or